How is it? Yes, it is.
I've been mood reading for days now, as in I pick up a book and then eventually I'll just drop it because I'm not in the mood for it yet. I've started like a bunch of books. I'm so sorry. I've started a bunch of books since before New Year. I started If Only I Had Told Her. I've started Caraval. I've also tried to start Quicksilver, which is the body read for a chunky read for our book club. I didn't find them that really much interesting. And then I bumped into an episode of Kat and Nicole's Two Steps Back. The whole podcast is not specifically for books, but some episodes they're discussing books, and one of their book discussions, or I think that's the first book of the month, was Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. So I got it because they said it's like something that will break your heart, and you know I love something that breaks my heart. Anyways, hello, good morning, good day. Welcome to our first reading vlog for 2025. My New Year's resolution for reading vlogs is to make it more realistic. Like, all my reading vlogs ever since are realistic, as in I'm just filming whatever I do whenever I do them. But now I'm trying to also incorporate like the real life struggles, challenges, ganyan, kasi not always is a very nice timing for reading vlogs, or for filming or whatever. Not everything is aesthetic. Not everything is like you have to prepare for a setup just to make your videos good. Yep, we're doing more of that. So if you're looking for aesthetic reading vlogs, this channel is not for you. But I'll try to make more of that as well. I'm not putting efforts on it. As in, pag trip ko lang, sige go tayo. But not the everyday I would do it kind of thing. Anyways, today is a working day. I'm working from home. And I'm also reading Betty. I started chapter 1 already, pero kagabi kasi when I was reading, may time na medyo nantok na ako, so natulog na ako, tapos nag-cuddle na lang kami ni Nemo. So I think that's good, but I also want to try to paint it. Yun nga lang, meron na akong tabs. Also, shout out to my partner. He gifted this to me kasi I'm looking for a copy talaga. Although, kahapon ng umaga lang naman ako naghanap, or kahapon ng umaga ko lang siya na-discover. Tapos naghanap ako online, Amazon, meron free shipping pero medyo mahal. So I asked my book club if they are familiar, if they know where to get it. Tapos one of them mentioned that she saw it from Full Book. Closest branch was from MOA. Fortunately, they have 2 more copies, kaya ito. Hindi na ako nakapili. Medyo may scratch siya dito ng konti. But that's fine. I just finished the first chapter of Betty. And I am loving it. As in, I'm really enjoying it. My luha is getting there. Girl, my annotations, my highlights, my tabs are so cool, I guess. Even in the prologue pa lang, you will feel that it's gonna be heavier than you expected it to be. I googled the content warning because my book club is very much careful on these kinds of reads. So here are the CWs. We have rape, incest, animal cruelty, child abuse, racial slurs, suicide, grief, mental illness, bullying, emotional abuse, abortion, miscarriage, misogyny, and death. Watch out on that trigger warnings, but for me, it's my breakfast. Literally, I haven't eaten yet, kaya I will go downstairs to check if there food muna. Nemo is still sleeping eh. I'll share pala with you at least one quote that I love here. Kasi chapter 1 is all about like introduction of Betty's parents, Lark and Alka. And there's this one quote here: "You're soon to be my wife, and I wouldn't be worth a damn as a husband if I didn't raise my hand to the man who raised his to you." I don't know. I have a feeling that there's something's gonna happen. So, at least at this moment, at this time, green flag pa lang siya. So, it's just so cute. It's also super easy. It's smooth then, as in you're just sailing through it. You're there as in at the moment na kinukwento ni Betty. It's so nice. But anyways, I'll just eat and read more.
To kiss the dark-haired girl like he did that New Year's. He wants to take his gentle blonde and push her way down into his pocket. She didn't want to mourn you, but all the birds have turned to paper cranes.
Working from home again today, mainly because I am sick. Like, I have runny nose. I'm not sure if it's obvious, but I'm ngongo also, to avoid further contamination. Anyways, I still have almost an hour to talk about Betty, which I have finished yesterday. Heartbreaking, it delivered. Tearjerker, it delivered. Beautiful writing style, it delivered. This is one of the books that I will forever recommend, but with disclaimers. Like, girl, read the trigger warnings. Super heavy, as in, and being a girly na who likes very heavy tearjerker books, this one is one of them. As in, and I think you can see it with my annotations. Sobrang dami. And by the way, by the annotations, I have a key here, which I will be rolled na lang then insert. I have 4 colors of tabs. We have quotes for the beautiful or beautifully written quotes na inspiring, motivational, kilig, whatever. We have the gray ones for the sad quotes or sad parts. Kasi sometimes there are parts na sad, but you understand it, but you don't feel it. You feel it, you understand it, but you cannot relate too much or so much that you will like caption it on your social media, if you get what I mean. We also have red tabs for my red flags or content warnings. Kasi I will need to, or I will want to reread it, or if I loan it to some friends, at least there's flags there na they can skip or whatever. And there are also blue tabs, hindi siya masyadong pansinin, but those are themes or discussion points that I want to share. Although most of them baka hindi ko na siya ma-share kasi sobrang dami, sobrang haba niya. By the way, I have a código kasi medyo maliligaw ako kasi ang dami kong gustong sabihin that I don't know where to start. So let's go deep dive the book na hindi masyadong deep. Okay, so the book is, we have the prologue and we have like 5 parts of the book. And I guess the 5 parts are based on Betty's age and how she approached the challenges that she was facing or the family was facing, or kung paano niya i-reflect yung sarili niya on that. So sa prologue pa lang, as I mentioned before, it's a specific scene with Betty and her father. So you already know that this is about father-daughter relationship that is very touching. And I was reading that part. Hindi ko alam kung madidisappoint ba siya sa father niya, or this father is the foundation or the root of, you know, yung kanyang strength when facing whatever she will be facing in the next chapter. So basically, this book is like, yes, we follow Betty, but the story revolves around the family and how she reacts on it, and how things going on inside the family or within the family impacts her as a person or as an individual person. Although Betty was not the direct victim of SA, she witnessed not everything siguro may mga hindi pa siya din nalaman or nakita. Kasi this book expands for years of Betty's life. So basically, for the first part, the family was introduced. It was a story of her parents, Alka and Landon, and how they met, how they became married. There's already a hint of child abuse and sexual abuse even, although hindi pa siya masyadong very direct in that part. By the way, I will be mentioning spoilers, so end nyo na yung video or skip nyo na sa conclusion if you don't want to be spoiled. So again, first part, just mentioned or just introduced the family of the Carpenters. We have Alka and Landon, who are the parents of Betty, and 6 siblings, including Betty. No? So we have Leland, we have Freya, Justin. I'm not sure kung ano yung pagkakasunod-sunod, nakalimutan ko na. We have Justin, Flossie, Betty, and then Celent. Celent ang pinakabunso. There are other minor characters that already has impact to Betty's life and to this parent's life, and even to other children. It actually happened when Alka, Betty's mom, was a teenager, I guess. And then Alka and Landon met, pero hindi nila alam na Alka was already, or hindi alam ni Landon na Alka was already pregnant that time. Since Landon is a very good guy, although hindi mo siya mapapansin sa una kasi he was like yung first judgment mo sa isang tao na hindi siya the usual color. There was also mention na he worked for a mine, tapos may kanya iba pa siyang racket, tapos nagyuyosi siya, nagtatambay siya, tapos nag-approach siya kay Alka. So parang yung ibang tao na quick to judge, they're like, don't be with that guy, period. Eventually, the character grew into a very good man na walking green flag nga eh. Despite of having or lacking something or not having all, his efforts, his love, his dedication, his commitment, yun yung sobra-sobra. And this is one of my most favorite characters for all time. Hindi lang for this book, but for my reading experience, for my reading journey. Alka naman is nakabaligtaran. Alka is kind of shy nung una, and then when you know her, she's bitter, she's always angry, she's always like galit, ganyan. But when you know her more, kasi eventually in the next chapters, nalaman din ni Betty kung why her mom is like this or reacts like this. Leland naman has the struggle na when he was a child, of course, hindi pa din ganun ka stable yung family. So, he has to grow old or grow up early. Kahit na bata pa siya, he needs to go out and earned for the family, especially when Freya came, the second child, na kailangan mo din siyang isupport bilang you are the panganay na lalaki. You also have this responsibility of being a parent. Freya is our singer. So the rest of the family medyo artsy na sila. Si Freya is singer, and she's very like the panganay na babae. She's very motherly. She's very kind, ganyan, malumanay. We also have Trustin, who is the artist of the family na nagdodraw. We also have Flossie, who is the actress of the family naman, and very much ambitious. So, medyo malaki ang kanyang pangarap. She also has this tendency of dropping everything just to get her or to abot, what do you call abot? Reach her dream. Of course, Betty naman has a talent on writing and telling stories. We also have Lint, who is the youngest. Lint being the closest character na similar to his dad or their dad. We have triggers kasi ninote ko din per chapter the triggers. We have child abuse where the mom, Alka, was abused by, like physically abused by her dad, as in pinapalo siya, ganyan. And there's also bullying because the dad, being poor and being different, he is a Cherokee Indian. So, nabubuli siya ng even mga co-workers niya na adult na rin naman. Ewan ko ba't ganun sila mag-isip. We also have racism, one of those bullying. And then violence na, girl, ang sakit ng dibdib ko. I mentioned earlier na Landon worked for a mine. And there was a time na he was violently harassed sa workplace nila, as in nabugbog siya and he was super bloody, naging limp din yung kanyang knee, as in sobrang, which affects him like his whole life, as in hindi na siya nakalakad ng maayos, meron siyang cane just because of that one night na nabully siya at ginulpi siya ng mga tao doon sa work niya. So of course he needed help, so he called the family, tapos the wife, Alka, was like, since she is bitter, the character is like super negative. Alka was like, ano ba naman to? Para naman wala akong ginagawa, blah, 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 blah. Parang nakatunganga lang ako sa bahay ko. And that is me. I am like that. Like, whenever na there are favors or asks or requests na parang you feel like inuutusan ka, I'm usually like, para naman wala akong ginagawa, Mia. So, I understand how frustrated is Alka, but I also understand na the family needs her. Kasi, whatever, this is the thing about being a mom. Regardless of your pain, of your tiredness, or your, I don't know, whatever you feel, regardless of that, people need you. People at home need you. And that's, as frustrating as it sounds, and as selfish as it sounds, you also want some time for yourself, you know what I mean? And sometimes nandun yung burden na everybody expects you to be perfect, like deliver everything, kahit na may sakit ka, kahit na busy ka, at yung kabisihan mo naman ay para rin lang sa kanila. So regardless of that, everybody expects you to be there 24/7 and to drop everything just for their requests. Sobrang nakaka-frustrate, but also at the same time, you also know that they need you. Ikaw yung power, ikaw yung encouragement, ikaw yung life ng family. And I don't know, sometimes mahirap din talagang kontrolin yung feelings, but sometimes you just have to reflect, you just have to remind yourself na this is not super personal. They just need me, and it doesn't mean that they are sabotaging whatever plans I have today.
we also have, asa na ako? So, of course, kahit na puro reklamo itong si Alka, she still went there and picked up Landon, only to discover that Landon was super bugbog na, like bloody bugbog. Anyways, Betty was super a kiddo pa lang, like 5, 6 years old maybe. Kung ang ibang bata ay very vocal na, Daddy, why are you like that? Daddy, why do you look like a zombie, whatever. But Betty was like super quiet, very reserved. Maybe because at her age, she already know na tatahimik na lang ako. And I don't want to dagdag pa sa iisipin ng mga magulang ko. And all those chapters, all those kids think that way, which is so painful. So, when I was reflecting na being a child also, there were times na I want to be quiet na lang. Kasi I don't want to be added as a burden or kung ano man yung sabihin ko as a burden with the family. Kasi I know na some of them or most of them are already frustrated. So, dadagdag pa ba ako? Reflecting as a parent naman, I don't want to burden my children then to say na or my child, kasi isa pa lang naman siya. I don't want to say to her, I don't want to tell her everything that burdens me kasi I don't want her to feel guilty na isipin niyang maybe because nahihirapan si mommy because she has me. Ayokong isipin niya yon. And sometimes, hindi ko maiwasan na hindi rin niya yon maisip because my kid is smart. She's just 6. Even when she's still like 4 or 3, nakikita na niya yun na mommy, she's super sensitive. Hindi mo kailangang sabihin sa kanila directly, they feel it and they see it. And to realize na how it impacts them as a kid is super sad and super like, oh my god, I need to ayos myself because kay Alka, the mom, the bitter mom, the negative mom, sa kanya din kasi is she's subconsciously or consciously maybe setting the expectations ni Betty and ng kanyang mga kids na the world is not so beautiful, you know, the world is not a perfect place. You will encounter pains, you will encounter bad people, you will encounter failures, disappointments. Madadaanan mo yan. It's not magic, it's not fantasy. And whatever you do, kung ano yung status mo ngayon, yan yung tingin sa'yo ng mga tao. And it's just real talk. Hindi ka niya dinadown, hindi ka din niya ini-encourage na instead of, ito yung tingin sa atin ng mga tao, so what you do. Yun yung difference nila and contrasting sila ng character ng daddy, si Landon, na instead of, yes, ina-acknowledge niya kung ano yung nafe-feel mo, kung ano yung negative thing, but there's also some kind of balance na it's okay. There are quotes here na very inspiring, very motivational na Landon always mention or always say to his children, hindi siya nag-i-end lang sa ganito kasi tayo. And you know from that writing, you know how different people are. Na sa akin, yes, nag-reflect ako. To other people, yes, nag-reflect sila, but it's just And there are also people who absorbs it. Na depende sa kanila kung they accept it or they use it as a tool to improve or to grow or to, color their lives. Kasi depende talaga kung paano mo i-absorb yung mga options or yung mga things around you. And it's just so beautiful and so rich. Sa part 1 pa lang, I know that this book is super rich, na you will learn a lot from it when you resonate with it. The second part is the bulk of the book. Hindi nyo nakikita. The second part is the bulk of the book. Ganito siya kakapal. Dito ako nagtagal. Because this is the largest part, the thickest part of the book, but also this is the heaviest as well. So here we already know the story of Alka and how she was sexually abused by her father. And we also have a story of Freya, the panganay na babae, which was sexually abused then by her brother Leland. So this part is super heavy. So for Alka, it started when she was 9 years old. What's even worse here is her mother let it happen. Actually, the mother literally prepared Alka for that night, for that specific event na very much painful for Alka. And naiyak ako kasi hindi ko na mahanap yung quote. But there's a quote here that says something like, do you know, the mother asked Betty, do you know what's the heaviest thing on earth, Betty? It's a man on top of you when you don't like it. And Betty was 9. Betty was 9 when Alka told her the story in explicit details. Betty was 9. The mother was also 9 when it started. There's a quote here that says, I wasn't prepared for the agonizing pain I would feel when he put himself inside my body. I thought he was killing me by ripping me in two. I didn't even know such a pain was possible. I cried out, Mama, Mama, please help me. But she never came, and he just kept digging into me. I knew then I wasn't loved. Oh God, I can steal this quick enough bed. From then on, Alka's belief in God was ruined. As in, meron nakalagay dito na all of him inside me while God did nothing. Then here, Mama came in and told me we'd keep it all under the rose. It happens in every family, Mama said. You'll get used to it. Very heavy, it's very painful. It feels like you wanna end things already dun sa part ni Alka. But imagine hearing it directly from your mom or from whoever. It's worse na kasi it's your mom. Hearing it at 9 years old, instead of just, you know, I don't want you to experience this, I don't want you to be exposed on this. Instead of that, Alka exposed Betty and to that thought or to that truth or experience by telling her the whole story in detail. So, imagine the trauma. Alka was like, hindi pwedeng ako lang ang nasasaktan dito. Ganon siya. Although deep inside, Alka is also good. There is also a time here na they didn't have food or money para pambili ng food. Tapos they imagined na gumawa sila ng donuts. Tapos meron silang, gumawa sila ng 10 donuts. And it's just 10. Tapos kulang pa sa mga kids yon. So even if it's just imaginary, the mom did not partake dun sa kanilang food. Kasi, no, it's yours. Parang ganon. Tapos sobrang nakaka-touch. Kasi parang, Okay, so kay Freya naman tayo. Freya is being abused by her brother, as I mentioned earlier. And sa point of view naman ni Betty, she actually witnessed it, as in, and there's this guilt na, bakit hindi ako nagsumbong? But girl, you're 9 years old, you're 10 even, kung ano man yung age mo, but around that, those ages, girl, ang bata mo pa, and I'm not expecting you to know everything that you have to do or to do everything that you think you have to do kasi it's not the usual sumbong na, you know what I mean? And there was also one time na it was, or Betty confronted Freya, and Freya was like, no, you don't have to do that. Wag mong ikukwento, wag mong isusumbong, or else I'm gonna hurt myself. And it's on you. So, ikaw bilang bata, what would you think? What would you do? Syempre, hindi ka, matatakot ka. Just keep quiet and bury it somewhere. Which is literally what she did before. Pero also figuratively din na parang naging symbol din siya to me. Na she's just absorbing everything, writing it, and then burying it somewhere, you know, somewhere, wherever. Somewhere far, kasi sa faraway place, parang naging symbol nga talaga siya. Ngayon ko lang na-realize. The more pain inflicted to each member of the family, the more pain that is reflected to Betty. Or hindi reflected din, na-absorb din talaga kasi ni Betty, as in nadadamay siya, nadadamay yung ibang mga tao, even animals. There are animal cruelty scenes as well. Maraming parang domino effect just because people cannot speak for themselves. No, so sometimes they're also, like for Freya, very subtle, but she's incorporating her experiences, her feelings, her confession in every lyrics of a song na she is singing or she was singing. Alam mo yung sobrang reflective siya, mirror siya ng what's happening in real life, na you're shouting for help. You're asking for help. Not directly, yes. Kasi you don't want to be a bida-bida. Kasi if you are bida-bida, or you don't want to directly say, I'm sad, I need the help, I'm kawawa, blah 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 blah, because people will invalidate you na okay lang yan. You have to go on. Kaya mo yan, blah 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 blah. Sa side naman nung tao na nakaka-experience noon, it's not very much helpful. Like, I know I have to go on, I know I have to fight this, but I just want to release it, and I want some kakampi that will understand and listen and protect me. This is why it's important that we connect to people. Ang medyo mahirap lang kasi kay Freya, when Betty started to connect with her, to understand her, bakit hindi mo to sinasabi, bakit hindi ka nagsasalita. Freya is also like, no, I don't wanna. And you cannot help people who don't want to be helped. Maybe there is a part of her na, or was a part of her na she wants to be saved, but yung part na she wants to save the family relationship is a lot bigger. Part 3 naman focused on different characters na. So we have here si Flossie, which is or was married or wedded to a very rich guy na hindi niya naman love, while there's this mother, si Alga, na in-encourage siya to marry this guy. So parang, if in case your dream of becoming an actress fails, which will, ganun siya ka-negative, and definitely hindi rin naman din talaga natuloy, instead of dreaming big, grab something na you can grab na ngayon. Kasi if not, you will be kawawa. So andito rin naman tayo sa real talk ni mommy na medyo masakit, but girl, real talk. Girl, I don't know, but this might be PPD, postpartum depression, na you are very much anxious of becoming a mom, tapos you don't know how to balance your wants and needs versus the needs of your baby. It's easier to just cut it off, stop everything, kung ano man yung mga role mo ngayon, stop it, drop it, and then go on with your, like, chasing your dreams. It's easier that way than to stress yourself na dalawang tao yung bubuhayan mo, yourself and another baby. So medyo may ganong thinking si Flossie. Buti na lang nahimasmasan siya. Maybe if you don't understand PPD or if you don't if you haven't experienced it yet, na may mga intrusive thoughts ka like that na very scary, it's real, guys. There's a poem here na ginawa ni Betty. Fuchsia, magenta, rosy pink. These are the colors she is allowed to be. One day, she will be ripped apart. These are the secrets we share from mothers to daughters, from sister to sister. A high-flying eagle is not a sign of God. It is why our mothers and sisters cry. Later, maybe we will be happy. But today, we put out flowers for who we once were. We are the girls who have just now realized we've been praying wrong this entire time. You've been inside us. It's a beautiful poem for me. I flagged it here. Kasi fuchsia, magenta, rose pink. It's the three colors that you are allowed to be or to have as a woman. Hindi ka pwede mag-blue, hindi ka pwede mag-purple, hindi ka pwede mag-black. you need a girly tone, a girly shade for you to become or to flag, no, not flag, to be tagged as a woman. Kasi if not, girl, questionin ka nila. There was also time here or mention here na we have one character, parang side character na si old woman sleeper work. Basta she's an old woman already. And she was like the whore of this community. There's this mention na nakausap siya ni Betty and her story was told na kaya siya naging whore because there's one day na her parents caught her having an intimate time with another girl. So parang that time, it's more acceptable for you to sleep with many men bilang babae ka than sleep with one other woman. A high-flying eagle is not a sign of God. It is why our mothers and sisters cry. Kasi someone na they are respecting that's supposed to be protecting them, aka God, dapat God nila, sinusunod nila, pinaprotektahan sila. Those people are the also same people na nag-a-abuse sa kanila. So, girl, it's just amazing that this poem is very direct if you already know the story behind it or the reason behind it. But it's very subtle na parang hindi mo mapapansin kung wala kang alam at all. Hindi mo mapapansin na it has a different meaning. Parts 4 and 5, dito na medyo wrap up na ng konti. There's a confrontation with Leland. Meron ding, may mga namatay na characters in the story. Just to spoil you kasi nag-spoiler disclaimer na rin naman tayo kanina. Namatay si Justin, namatay si Freya. Freya died because of a sting of a bee, or a bee ba yun, or basta an insect, na apparently ang kasalanan ni Leland, as in sinadya niya yun ni. Si Leland naman, nagpakalayo-layo yata siya. Eh, hindi. Binaril siya. Kasi I want to forget him. Ang saklap ng ginagawa niya. Anyways, si Leland yung may kasalanan ng kay Freya. Tapos si Justin died in an accident. Justin. And also, the most devastating part, the most devastating like death, etong si father, si Landon. So, yes, he died. Of all the things, the efforts na ginawa ni Landon, masasabi mo din na nakakapagod din. Napapagod din siya physically. Siguro, deep inside him, he's not done yet. He wants to support the family more or further. Pero physically, nakakapagod. This is an epitome or an example of hindi mo alam lahat ng nangyayari sa anak mo, sa asawa mo, unless you talk about it. It is so good. May isa pa akong book na itatry from Tiffany McDaniel and I am very much excited doon. Pero marami tayong excitement ngayon. May maraming pila. The writing style of Tiffany McDaniel, maybe because this is very close to heart kasi nga totoong inspired siya ng totoong storya. I want you to understand this character. So, yun ang i-deliver ko as an author. But I don't also want to dictate what you want to feel about these characters. So, yun yung na-appreciate ko sa kanya, na it's up to you how would you feel about a very strict mom, very bitter mom, very sad mom. How would you feel for a dad na very present but cannot give anything or everything to you? How would you feel sa isang kapatid na sobrang taas ng pangarap na kaya kang iwan anytime? How would you feel sa isang kapatid na very much na-betray ka or nasaktan ka? So, it's up to you. But all the facts and all the thoughts even ni Betty at ng mga characters are well explored also. So, yeah, I really appreciate this. It's one of my best reads this year, if not forever. But, yeah, I'm just glad that this is my first pick this year. Kasi, it boosts me eh. Yun nga lang, ang aking second pick is a fantasy, so medyo mahirap talunin. Ibang klaseng imagination yung kailangan mo dito. So, I picked up as pangbanglaw ang isang thriller that I will also mention in the next reading vlog. So, yeah, that's it. I just read Betty, and this is my first reading vlog this year. I hope nagustuhan ninyo, nakasabay kayo. That's that. I have late na ako ng 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna go and work and then, I don't know, read more. Bye!